What's up, y'all? It's your boy King, your girl Queen with My State Transparency. We're down here at the federal courthouse in New Haven, Connecticut, waiting for the suspect to exit the building. Sir, you learned a lesson about stealing? Sir? Sir?
Mike, is there anything you want to say to your constituents?
Anything you want to say to the public? He was just stealing from the citizens.
Oh! Stealing COVID-19 funds.
Stealing COVID-19 funds from the public. Mr. Dimassa. He was stealing. They probably don't want you in the bank, sir.
All right, we are following breaking news right now out of West Haven, where the city says embattled State Representative Michael Dimassa has resigned from his position with the city council. Now, Representative Dimassa sent a letter to City Hall, we're told, resigning from his position as administrative assistant to the West Haven City Council. He is currently facing charges accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars allocated to the city by the federal government to be used as COVID-19 relief funds. Now, Representative Dimassa has been removed from all of his committee assignments within the General Assembly, but as of right now, he has not resigned from that House position.
And we catch him again exiting the building and give him a piece of our mind. Sir, do you want to apologize to the people for stealing? Sir,
right now.
would you like to apologize to the people you were stealing from, sir? No? You're going to have to go home and lay your head on that pillow and think about the things you've done. You need to get help for that gambling problem, sir. We on your heels, like white on rice and flies on shit, okay? Look at this criminal, y'all. That's the real criminal. All right, y'all. So the reason why we're here is that story we did last week at the West Haven City Hall with the FBI investigation. The guy that was there was he was arrested and arraigned today in federal courthouse, which is right here downtown New Haven, Connecticut. And we just caught him coming out the courthouse and try to find out why he was stealing.
City Hall, the focus today here in West Haven, folks. Good afternoon, everyone. The FBI investigating 30-year-old Michael Dimassa, who was hit with one count of wire fraud, a federal charge which carries a penalty of up to 20 years in prison. According to an affidavit in support of a criminal complaint, 30-year-old Michael Dimassa, who has worked in various roles for the city for 12 years and is also a state representative, is alleged to have stolen nearly $637,000 from West Haven's federal COVID relief funding.
Yeah, I'm really not going to comment on the case. It would be inappropriate at this time. As you know, the matter was simply continued. This is the first step in a process.
Now, many wonder how, as an administrative assistant to the West Haven City Council, Dimassa could have pulled this off. Well, the City Council voted on a resolution last December that allowed him and the city's finance director to oversee COVID relief funding. The complaint asserts that Dimassa and an unnamed individual started a consulting company called Compass Investment Group last February. Company invoices claim that they performed COVID-19 legal lobbying and site work for the city's health department. Essentially, Dimassa was allegedly invoicing the city, then writing checks for over $600,000.
A Connecticut lawmaker is facing 20 years in prison. Prosecutors say he stole more than $500,000 and gambled much of it away. News 12 Connecticut's John Craven is here. John, these are some incredible charges.
Della, this arrest warrant reads like a Law and Order episode. This money was supposed to help COVID victims. Instead, prosecutors say a state lawmaker took it to a casino.
Anything you want to say to the public?
State Representative Michael Dimassa was quiet as he left federal court. He's accused of stealing half of West Haven's COVID relief money. Prosecutors say Dimassa gambled away $53,000 at Mohegan Sun Casino.
He obviously takes it very seriously and is certainly acting in a responsible manner.
At West Haven City Hall, Dimassa was in charge of COVID funds. An arrest warrant says he and a friend created a company called Compass Investment Group. Prosecutors say Compass billed the West Haven Health Department for hundreds of hours of phony legal consulting and even site work for a COVID-19 clinic. In all, Dimassa allegedly stole $636,000.
Good afternoon.
West Haven's mayor reported the suspicious activity to the FBI.
As a certified public accountant, it is my ethical and professional responsibility to disclose this issue to our residents.
The state now doing its own audit.
They've already hired folks to do the audit. We'll look at West Haven. We'll look beyond if we need to look beyond. I want to give people confidence this money is being invested appropriately.
But Republicans want an audit of every town's COVID spending.
One, it would make sure that we start to rebuild the public's trust, but also would uncover whether or not the administration had the proper checks and balances in place.
Meantime, taxpayers still have many questions about how this went on for so long.
This is why we do the things we do, because we get public servants like this guy that go and feel like he could just steal from the public.
Well, today the judge said Dimassa is being treated for gambling addiction. Meantime, he has been stripped of all of his committee assignments at the state capitol. In the newsroom, John Craven, News 12, Connecticut.
Okay, y'all. As promised, here's the affidavit, and I'm going to play a little bit of music as you read through it. Pause it and read if you have to. Here you go.
West Haven City Council will meet tonight for the very first time since former city worker Michael Dimassa was arrested. The current state representative is accused of misusing hundreds of thousands of dollars in COVID relief funds when he worked for that city.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Aya Galil is live at West Haven City Hall right now.
Yeah, we out here in West Haven, Connecticut, City Hall. Council meeting. And we're headed inside.
2021 City Council meeting. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Stacy, if I could ask you.
Good evening, Sean Brown. Once again, I come to you. We've had this problem before, and now the chickens are coming home to roost. I brought up 3.5 years ago what happened to the $1.5 million. We're talking about $639,000 missing. You say he has a problem with gambling. How long did this gambling go on for? Okay? How did he manage to have a company and got past all of you? He did it behind your back. And you are all praising him in the paper, telling him he's a good guy. He could have stolen over $500,000. What is there any good about that? He abused his authority. He had too much access to money, and you think he's a good guy. That's not the route we expect our representatives to take. For you to take that sounds very political. You can take it any way you want to take it. But as a citizen, that's wrong. What happened to the $1.5 million? He went to Hartford, took pictures with 2 other state representatives and our mayor. How do we know there wasn't money taken out of that? I'm still trying to figure out what happened. You got 2 buildings in Allentown put up, and nothing's going on down there. You had a backup in the Allentown library / really the community center in that building. There was a backup there. So maybe you want to answer the question I asked you for the last 3 years. What happened to the $1.5 million? Maybe the Fed should be listening to this. And how dare our council overlook this, or you let him get away with this? You don't even challenge it. You praise him for it. How do you get reelected? That's the problem. Because this is a disgrace. This is why West Haven looks the way we look in the state of Connecticut. Because of stuff like this. We overlook it and act like, oh, this is no big deal. $639,000 and they're still investigating. That's a problem. That's a real problem. Like I said, the chickens are coming home to roost. Thank you.
Ms. Portia Bias, do we still state who we are in our address?
Please.
And I just wanted to address the council and say that some things seem to be overlooked. I don't know if it's not being noticed, if you're not reading through everything as the documents are being presented to you, if you don't have time, if you're skimming over, or if you're just plain being a rubber stamp. Okay, I'm not going to necessarily talk about the funds, the missing funds. I'll leave that up to the FBI, okay?
My name is King with My State Transparency. I run a YouTube, me and my lady run a transparency page on YouTube and all major... I'm sorry, could I just have your name and address for the record? My name is King and I'm not going to give my address because I don't have to.
Okay. I'm not sure that's accurate, but I don't have my corp counsel here, so I'll let you continue.
Legally, I don't have to give my
Okay.
name.
Right. Mr. Corp Counsel?
Guys.
Gentleman is contesting whether he has to give his address for the record.
You are the chair. You control public session. If you feel he needs to give his address for public session in order to identify himself, let me know if he's...
That's unconstitutional. I'll be very careful if I was you.
To you, the chair, that is my answer.
So are you a West Haven resident?
I don't have to answer that question.
All right. Well, then I think I'd like to take comment from West Haven residents first, and then I can take your comment.
Are you denying my right to speak?
No, I'm not. I'm just delaying it.
Okay. I'm not going nowhere, just so you know that.
I don't want you to, but
okay.
if I'd rather hear from the West Haven residents first.
Oh, okay.
Good evening, Council. John Lewis. A couple questions. Up to this point, I haven't heard monthly accounting of being brought from the finance department, brought to the council regarding the use of these COVID CARES Act funds or ARPA funds from when they were brought forward till today, 7/24. I don't have any, documentation. I don't know if you have one of questions that have been asked. If the finance director was brought before you to ask any questions, I haven't seen anything. We know some of it has gone one way, but where's the rest of it? Okay, and again, to this point, there hasn't been one question.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for your comments. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? For a second time, is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? For a third and final time, is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? Sir, are you willing to give your name and address for the record?
I already gave my name. I'm not willing to give my address.
Then you're outside of the scope of the rules of this.
Thank you, Mr. Lewis, for your comments. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? For a second time, is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? For a third and final time, is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council? Sir, are you willing to give your name and address for the record?
I already gave my name. I'm not willing to give my address. I don't have to.
And then you're outside of the scope of the rules of this body, and then I will not be able to let you out speak under public. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to address the City Council?
You told me be here to speak after everybody. Exactly.
I asked.
Listen, what he did is violating my constitutional rights. For those that clapped, just know that. Ms. Mayor, I suggest you advise him to not violate my rights.
Seeing none, public comment is now closed.
Oh, okay.
Since most people are here, obviously, due to the recent events and because of the priority with the recent events, I'm going to adjust the agenda and bring the CARES Act grant update up to this point in time on the agenda. And I'd like to ask the mayor to please give us an update from the last time that we met 2 weeks ago.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Chairman Fagliani and members of the City Council.
Okay, y'all. As y'all witnessed, my rights was violated. I was prevented from speaking because I did not want to give my address. I do have every intention on filing a complaint and sending the city of West Haven a letter of intent. Stay tuned, y'all. We're going to follow that up, and we're going to keep y'all updated with it. Thanks for watching. We out of here.